Hey everyone, Joe here. This is my second video on big stone slinging. Today we're going to do some distance slinging. Let's take a look at the inventory. I've got the same selection of big stones that I used in the impact video. What I'm going to do is pick out 6 weights and sling each stone 10 to 15 times and try to get an average on the distance I can sling it. I've also got 2 different length slings. I have a 33-inch and a 45-inch sling. So we'll be able to see the difference in distance between the 2 of those. Now for each throw, I'll put up on the screen the length of the sling, the weight of the stone, and also the distance I'm able to throw it. And at the end of this whole thing, I'm going to put together a spreadsheet and hopefully a graph so that we can get a visual representation of the difference between the 2 slings, all the stone weights, and see which one might be the best for me, at least, if I wanted to throw for max distance and max weight. Let's go. (113 feet 3 inches). Also, just a note here now, I get it that the stones are going to roll, so I'm actually getting the max distance including whatever roll there is, but I don't really have a way to do where it hits the ground. I don't have a way to get that measurement precisely. Just a slight adjustment to the throw. Put that one out to 150 feet on the dot. You can see my fire pit here's kind of what I was aiming toward, generally speaking, but got a bunch lined up right next to it. Got a bunch right around it there, a couple up there, and here I had kind of an outlier over there to the right. Then these were the ones, this row right here, these were the ones I was just releasing just a hair too early, but they got some good distance. These 3 right along here, and then up here's the 150 and 152.5 feet. Another thing to note too, real quick, I am throwing uphill just a little bit. So if this was on a flat terrain, these would be a little bit farther out there. Right here you can already see the difference, because the other one I had a bunch right in line around this fire ring, kind of on the front side of it, and there's a couple over there. That was one of the weeds back there, but the better part of these are back here. I'll show you the distance from the, so the other ones were kind of in front of that fire pit, and most of these other ones are back here. So they're a good 15-20 feet further, some of them maybe more. Real good consistency though. I like the grouping here. Guys, it's day 2. Today's stone is 765 grams. Before I'm starting with the 33-inch sling, but I'll post all the info on the screen. Shorter. 119, 4 inches. I think my angle's coming down too low. Yeah, threw it higher in the air. 157. So if I get more like that, I might cut those short ones out of the average. "126 feet 5 inches. Something I'll also mention, the 566 gram rock was, I mean, it wasn't round, but it was a rounder shape than this one. And this one, sometimes it rolls when it hits the ground, and sometimes it's hitting the ground and not rolling at all. So that's throwing in some less consistency in the measurings. With angle and throwing it straight, that's about as perfect a throw as I'm going to get. 159 feet 3 inches. Just quick thoughts. Those are definitely getting farther out there than the 566 gram rock with that same sling. We'll see what where the average comes out. And one thing, slinging those, it's not really that much harder. I think it was about a 200 gram increase. It doesn't feel all that different, and they are getting more distance. But let's go take a look. You can see whereas I think that with the 566 gram, a lot were in the area right in front of the fire pit here. There's a few with this sling. But the other one had a whole bunch, because I think it was in like the mid 130 foot range that a lot of those were going. But you can see this one out in the 150, 150 to 160 foot range is where most of these are. Moving up, 765, 45-inch sling. $166 feet 9 inches. One thing with that was all air, because this hit some soft ground up there and it stuck, so there was no additional roll. Okay, I made it. Now that one was back in the weeds, so I didn't have a direct line to it. So my measurement might be a little bit off, but I got that one at 181 feet. But let's go up and take a look at the spread. Now it's getting hard to remember where stuff's really hitting between these different rock weights and the length of the sling. But this one does seem to be farther back. This one's also real consistent with, you can see them starting there, and there's just a line right across here, and then it's got the handful in the back that passed the line. Now one thing to keep in mind, all these ones over here at the edge, all those were back in the weeds a little bit. Like I forget, I think it's the one in the middle there that was the long one that was way back in there. Something else I'll add here real quick. That one stone that I noted got a certain distance and stopped. It was right in the ground right there. Literally, here, I'll get an arrow so I can point. Right here is where it was. Now, this is a long time ago, but I think there were some kids or something in my yard drinking. Must have been underage, and they abandoned their bush. And I just, at the time, I left them here because I didn't give a damn, and I thought they might want to come back and grab their beer that they didn't finish. But these cans are all still full. They've been sitting here for probably a couple of years now. On that spot right there, I was about a foot away from coming in and smashing those damn cans. That would have been an awesome hit. "991. 150 feet, 4 inches. On it too, after that last misthrow, kind of shakes the confidence a little bit. But that has to, in your mind, that has to be dismissed immediately. When you're throwing this, you have to know it's going where you want it to. Otherwise, you won't throw it hard. You don't trust it. So here's our spread. You can see I'm down here. Then all the way, there's some there. There's some on my fire pit. I got some all the way over there. And a few back there. So just a much wider spread than I've been seeing with the other, that I saw with the other two stones. "142 feet, 9 inches. That throw felt good, but I don't think I got the height. Lost it. So this one, that shot there, that was the one way out to the right. And then other than that last one that I lost, this one right here is the furthest to the left. Everything else has a pretty nice center grouping. Here's the main line going across right here, where there's the whole bunch right at this distance. And these other ones out here, these were the ones getting out to the 150 range. And out here, obviously these ones had the big roll making it this distance, but this is the 160 whatever and the 170. Here's a shot from the back.